Yo, we're back. So, guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing. Make sure you share this, make sure you like it, and make sure you comment. And don't forget to use the hashtag #CounterAttack podcast. Not the counterattack, blah, blah, blah. Hashtag #CounterAttack podcast. And keep the feedback coming. Thank you for all the messages I get all the time and all the tweets and whatnot. Yeah, we're just going to keep it going. Today, we have a championship striker having a tough time right now with his team, as they are, I think they're just above the relegation zone actually. But we've got Josh Magennis, plays for Hull City and Northern Ireland. So we're just gonna get him in now, and we're just gonna chalk it up, man. Let me get him in now. Yes, Josh. Oh, now you're sideways.
Is it working? Hold on.
Oh, you're sideways now.
You want it like that?
Okay. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. How are you, man?
How's it going? I'm good. How are you, bro?
I'm good. I'm just just here working away, man. Getting it all out, man. So how long have you had off now from football?
Well, we had 10 weeks, but I've been back in now for about 5 days altogether.
Yeah, is that the longest you've had?
Yeah.
Apart from injury, probably, but
yeah, even with injury, that's the longest I've ever been. I've ever been out. It's been mad trying to fill in the times, and it's not like a normal time off where you're able to go see family or go on holiday. It's literally batten down hatches, stay indoors.
Yeah, normally when the season finishes, that's your cue to fly out, do what you need to do, but you've not been able to do any of that.
No, it's not. As soon as the season finishes and you go to the airport, it's like a PFA meeting. You're just bumping into other footballers, and then every time else now it's just like mask on. Shopping centre's the highlight of my week.
Yeah,
me and my missus are fighting like who's going to do the shopping.
Who normally has to go? You?
I go, yeah.
Yeah.
I pull rank and say, yeah, I'm good. I need to get out or else I'll tear the house down.
Yeah, I hear that. But in regards to going back, did you, as a player, have any reservations? Because I've seen that it's come out with certain players. I know Troy Deeney said he weren't going to go back if things weren't done correctly. I saw Danny Rose. You as a player, did you ever have any reservations going back?
Yeah, because I knew it was inevitable that there was going to be a stage where the government, unless there's a vaccine found, the government will have to slowly introduce things into being normality, because we couldn't have stayed in lockdown forever. It would have crippled everything. Do you know what I mean? But it was just the uncertainty of going back and not knowing until we only found out 2 days ago that we were going to restart on the 20th, and going back prematurely for no reason was for me was I was like, well, sort of what are we working towards? Do you know what I mean? I'm a man of habit. I like to know what's happening, what's going on. So I was like, well, when there was no sort of end date of what was going on, I was like, it seems like we're going back prematurely, doing a lot of risk for maybe no reward. Yeah. And then it's coming out in the press and in the papers, and it was because I follow the news probably like everyone else. There's nothing else to do about different ethnicities and stuff who are more prone to to dying, basically, for it being worse. And then on top of that, asthmatics. And me and my youngest are asthmatic, and also we're mixed race. And I was like, because you have nothing else to do, your mind's constantly going in overdrive about catching this virus. Yeah, I was like, it's like, what happens if I was to catch it? Now I might be okay because fit and athletic, but saying those types of people are okay. But I said to my wife, I was like, well, what happens if I go and I bring it home, and my youngest son catches it, and it affects him in a way that's detrimental to him? And I was just like, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. So there was a lot of chat, there was a lot of conversation, not only with the players as a group, because you know when you play, you have a players group chat, and then you have an official club group chat. Yeah. So there was a lot, you know what I mean? Stuff gets said that doesn't get said in the official group chat. And there was a lot of talk from the manager, from the owner, the physios, the doctor, the players just really, and Zoom calls, I guess, just for everyone to offload what problems that they have. If you have a problem, you have an issue, let's get it out in the open. Let's discuss it. Let's go about it diplomatically instead of getting back one day and something happening, no one being happy. Let's meet it head on. So that was the club's stance. And to be fair, the safety measures that have been happening in place since we've gone back have been. You can't complain. I feel for the docky, the amount of times he has to change his outfits to take our temperatures and take our tests. It's crazy. But for us as players, we arrive at the training ground staggered times. We have to park 2 car parking spaces away from each other. We have to still be 2 meters apart. We've got to bring our own water bottles. There's no lunch. You're not allowed, excuse me, you're not allowed to shower at the training ground. There's no treatment. It's literally you go in, you exercise, and then you leave.
Yeah.
So that made it a bit better. And then just thinking now, going back to full contact, now that's going to be different because I was saying to my missus, I was like I can go to work and get in a scuffle with one of the lads, and if we're doing 11v11 in a small sided game, like we can grip each other up. Or someone can tackle me if I'm free one-on-one. But if my mum comes to my front door, she has to stay at the bottom of the driveway.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was like, it doesn't make sense. I was like, I'm listening to one thing and then reading another thing and then being told one thing, and I'm like, I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
do you feel though, like, and I've had this conversation with quite a few players, like, on the podcast and off the podcast, like, do you feel as if they're putting like the whole like money issue above health? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it has to get back on for entertainment. And you guys don't really have a choice because it don't make sense. They're going to make you go on the pitch. I don't know how they're going to do it, but if it's anything like German football, it's ridiculous. You can get into scuffles, but they make the subs sit 2 meters apart.
Yeah, with masks on.
Yeah, and then you said, they want you to do all of this, but then if your mum comes, do you know what I mean? Like, and you don't know.
She's got to be at the bottom of the drive. Yeah,
it's ridiculous, man. Like, do you even have a say in all of it?
No, we don't. We can voice our concerns, and that was one of the questions that we asked. It was like, well, what happens if someone does what Troy Deeney does and just says, I ain't happy with the situation. I'm not coming in. Like, can you get?
I've lost you.
Like, am I back?
Okay, yeah, go on.
There we go. Can you get like penalised or anything like that? And the answer was sort of no, because this situation's never happened before. Like they always say, like, the safety of the players is first and foremost. That's what we're getting told. So it has to be about money. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're in the Championship and you get promoted to the Premier League, it's 150 million quid. Boom, that's going on. Plus the relegations from the Premier League, those parachute payments, or the TV right money that needs to be distributed with Sky or with BT or something, not fulfilling the fixtures. Because if I'm looking at other leagues who still have good TV rights and still pay players very, very, very good salaries, but have cancelled the league, such as like Scottish SPL, they had to go because it just wasn't sustainable for them not to have gate revenue and different types of revenue to continue. League Two, they decided they're gone. I'm not too sure about the playoffs, and probably League One is about to follow.
Have they not done League One yet?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to say that they did if they haven't, but I know players who are in League One teams and they've just heard nothing from the club. They've been put on furlough. They've been told what to do. There's been no date set for training. They've just been told we'll be in contact when we need to be in contact. And then the Championship's been basically ramping up towards the 20th, and then the Premier League's the 17th. So I think it's obviously in the powers that be's best interest for the season to finish. Let's get the season finished. How it's going to finish, I don't know, because because I was chatting to one of the other lads as well. I was like, well, if the championship goes ahead.
Can you sit back just a bit? Your head gets cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, sorry.
There, it got me. So I was like,
go on.
if the championship goes ahead, like we could be playing at all mad times. We're not going to be Saturday 3:00 or Monday 7:45. Like the Premier League will take priority all the way through the week, and then we could end up playing on a Thursday, maybe at like 2:00.
Just to get through all the fixtures.
Just to get through all the fixtures, get everyone through. Now I don't know if they're trying to stream all the games. I think they are, but it must be some like the red button. You might have one featured game, and then the rest will be like the red button. But even still, it's like you could be playing all different types of things, all different types of craziness. Now, I don't know. Did you see the what was it, TalkSport or BBC Sport about allowing friendlies before we allowed to go back and play? Did you see that?
Friendlies?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
All right. So obviously it's like pre-season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you need games before you lead into the major games.
And that's another thing I was going to say, because you've been out for so long, you're going to need a pre-season, but then they're asking players to just go straight back in. And
yeah, exactly. So like, well, I think it was a stat. Now I'm not too sure if it was 300% or 800% of German players have been injured since the start of the season reopening. And I'm like, that's just detrimental to people's health. Do you know what I mean? And then it was released that they were talking about doing it, and the friendlies that you're allowed to play, they can't be more than an hour and a half away from you. I'm not too sure if it's your training ground or the player's home. You have to travel on your own car.
Oh, that's
there's no showers, and you have to travel in your kit ready to play. So you basically roll out your car. You play the game, and then you got to travel back, stinking.
It's like Sunday League all over again.
Exactly. And I was like, how am I getting my head around that? Like, I just thought about it, and I was like, normally pre-season, you have your pre-match, you get on the coach, you get to the stadium. There'll be two teams that play 45 minutes.
Yeah.
The first half team will go on and play. When the second half starts, they'll all go in and get showered. Wait for the second half team. Everyone gets on the coach. You leave.
Yeah.
So I was like, because I've been a pro for 12 years, Daps, and because all of this is all new, it's hard to get your head around thinking back for the season's back. Do you know what I mean? Like because it's so far out of normality, it's like this is mad. I was like, I love to talk. Like I was like, I can't. Who am I going to talk to on the way to the game? I'm talking to strangers on the motorway. Do you know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's sorry to cut you. Like it's
no, it's all right.
It's a thing of there's more madness than more sense. Do you get what I'm saying? And yes, we want because me personally, I'm a football man. Like I love watching football. I love playing football. So I'm happy that it's coming back. But at the same time, I've got friends who are playing who are telling me that it's not making sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Like not only are you coming here saying it's not making sense, I've got other people say it's not making sense. But at the end of the day, there's always that thing of they're under contract, so you have to just do it, and you have to.
Oh, my batteries. Yeah, Daps, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right. Hold on. Can I just? You can edit this, can't you?
Yeah, I'll just leave it in, mate. Go on.
Can I just run and get my charger?
Feel free. Go.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
So just waiting for Josh to get back.
You got the charger up there with you?
This is such a ghetto podcast. This is what we do. And halfway during the podcast, someone will just get up, leave, and go and find their charger. But big up, Josh. I'm enjoying this one, bro. I feel like I'm the one that's being interviewed, mate. He's just carrying on with it. to be fair, I knew it was going to be like this. Keep him up every time. Here he is.
2 seconds, Daps.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Daps?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. So, I was just saying that, a lot of people are saying that it don't make no sense. As much as they want to go back to football, at the same time, it has to make sense. And it's just all up in the air, man. And you're not you're not the first to say it.
Because it's not the fact that I'm trying to be hard about it or trying to be busybody, do you know what I mean? But I'm just at night when I'm sitting down, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, well, we weren't allowed to see anybody now, right? Okay, so now we've been told that the maximum amount of people you can see is 6 people, 2 meters, yeah. So then I'm thinking to myself, right, okay, so then you're getting told that we're going to play friendlies. So I was like, right, so I said, right, well, that's going to be 11 of my team against 11 of another team in full contact. Never mind my own other 10 people. I don't know what they're doing on a daily basis away from training. I've got to go with another 11 complete strangers.
And is that going to be, because this is the first time I'm actually hearing about this, is that going to be against another championship team, or is it going to be against like League One, League Two, or like how do you know if the other team?
That's the thing. Like, you know what it's like. You don't play against a team that's in and around you, so it's going to have to be. I think it won't be a team that we have remaining left to play. So it's either going to be a team in the championship we've played twice already, or a Premier League team that has about us. Now, we don't know. We've just been told that trying to schedule in some friendlies, because it would be as much as it's weird going back to football in these times. It would be crazy to go back having not played any friendlies. You have to play friendlies. You have to have that match tempo. Do you know what I mean? As much as you do in training, 11v11, there's nothing like playing a match. Do you know what I mean? And that's sort of what needs to be done.
I mean, we're just gonna have to see how it goes. Like, I know there's gonna be a couple of games where, like, teams are gonna go in and they're not gonna have their full squad because someone's tested positive, and like, it's crazy. I've never ever seen like anything like this.
The volume's gone on you there.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
There we go. Finally. Yeah, go on, just say that again, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that, you're going to get teams who are, they're not going to be able to play with their full squads. You're going to be training today, and then your match comes, and then someone might get a positive thing, and all of a sudden, teams don't have their full squads. And for a team like, let's say like Hull, who are banging it right now. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you're coming up, must-win games, and like, you're asking the players to play, but the manager at one point might not have 2 or 3 who could be important players. It's
massive,
And is that fair? Do you know what I mean?
I know, but I think you just have to be like, he's not injured. He's not away because he's injured. He's away because he has coronavirus. It's a crazy statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't play by coronavirus, and you're just like, wow. And then I was like honestly, and then not only us, so like there's the likes of us, Luton, Barnsley, Charlton, Middlesbrough, Huddersfield, Stoke, like those types of players that are in and around it.
Birmingham look like they might get through it.
Yeah, who are, sorry?
Birmingham look like that they'll get out of it though.
They're top of the tree. But then I was saying to a couple of the boys as well. I was like, it's not like we've had like a week off. Do you know what I mean? Like we've had just a week off. it's been a full 10 weeks. So can you take people's form like straight back into when we start up again? I say people have had a chance to get away and refresh and have a new mindset. Like it might not just be the people at the bottom stay at the bottom and the people at the top stay at the top. It could be completely different.
Yeah, because even when I'm looking at like the German football, and I watch a lot of German football, and the quality ain't the same right now. And I know that's because, you know, they ain't had games, they've had so long off. Like, but then there's certain people who that's their entry point into German football, and they're looking at it thinking, what the heck is this?
What is this madness?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So like, there's so much going on right now, and like you said, you guys might. I don't know what the form was like. If I could see it here, or rather, the form weren't that great. But then
it was tragic.
Oh wow! You know, I'm looking at your form here, and because of your last 5 games, that has probably been obviously the whole season, the season as a whole. But your last 5 games, 4 losses and a draw. That's probably what's put you bang in it.
Bang in trouble, yeah. And before that, I think we didn't win a game in like, was it 9 or something, Daps? Something crazy. And at one point, we were 1 point off the playoffs. We had a crazy, it was crazy. And you know what it's like in football? Like when you're in that situation and you're playing Saturday, Tuesday. Now it's easy for people to say, "Oh, play the game, just leave, go away, and get away with your family." But when you're on that form, you're constantly just on the Ferris wheel, constantly thinking about it. But now you've had, well, for me anyway, now I've had 10 weeks off. Got a different mindset to going back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just completely shifted.
Yeah, that's you know what? I didn't realize you guys form, but anyway, form goes out the window now. Now it's literally.
That's what I'm saying. It's like cup finals.
Yeah, now it's just about just slugging it out. You just
how you slug it out and stuff like that. It's going to be so. Honestly, I can't get my head around playing in a fully competitive game with no fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to feel like it's like the only time you do that is pre-season.
Yeah, it's because even with like under 23s and reserves, like you get people in there.
You get agents in the corner, you get other scouts, and you get everyone else's family. It's crazy.
Are you not feeling the pressure within the club in regards to this relegation though?
See, to be fair, I think that it was a bit nervy before the lockdown happened. But our gaffer's pretty good at sort of motivating and communicating with players, not only 1v1, but as a collective. And then, obviously, excuse me, the boost we had now is that, and everyone probably says this, who are in an absolute terrible time, but we have players who were out injured in key positions.
Yeah.
So 3 of our back 4 that started the season were out, but now we've got them back.
Yeah.
So you'd like to think now, having everyone back fit and the manager has a full squad to pick from, we'll be all right going forward. But yeah, man, just like, because you always say next game you have to win. And then that game comes and you don't win, and you're like, okay, right, next game you have to win, and you're like, oh my goodness, we didn't win, and then you're right, well, next game, and then as you look at that form table, 5 games in, 6 games in, you still ain't won. Teams around you are winning, and you're just, that league's crazy. Do you know what I mean? I think like Derby or someone are like 13th, but only 5 points off 6th.
Let's see, Derby are 12th, and
12th,
5 points off. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, if you look at the Premier League, if you look at 13th to 6th, it could be like 9 points or something.
Yeah, the league is crazy. Like, it's obviously you guys aren't going to get promoted or whatnot, but you know you're sitting 2 points above relegation zone, but you're still only 15 points off promotion. Like,
it's mad, isn't it? Imagine we went on a crazy run in 9 games.
Yeah.
Came back, best form you've ever seen. You could end up 7th or something.
Yeah.
6th.
That's what I'm saying, because right now, even though you're in the relegation, just above the relegation zone, at the end of the season, you could really and truly get to 12th, 11th place. And then you'll be looking back thinking, oh, that was an all right season.
From where it started, yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking we've actually had a decent season, yeah. Not where we wanted. The gaffer was always talking we want to be as high as we can, which we were at the start of the season. But yeah, you look back with the start we had, which was decent, and then the low that we had, then the sort of after New Year, you say, okay, we actually didn't finish too badly there.
Yeah. Where do you think it went wrong? At what stage do you think it went wrong for you guys? Because like you said, at the beginning of the season, you looked all right.
So obviously the elephant in the room was we lost Jared Bowen and we lost Kamil Grzycki, and those boys were something else. Yeah, especially Jared. Jared is the best counter-attacking footballer I have ever seen.
Why is that? What makes him that player?
I don't know what makes it even worse. Like, because you can't even hate him because he's such a nice boy. I mean, sometimes you get players who are proper having themselves, and you're like, you know what? I can't say nothing because he's good. But such a nice kid, mate. Yeah. So placid. Like, he would still come into training and still, in his eyes, see himself as like a young pro. Yeah. No fuss. But mate, his reading of the game, his movement, and his ball speed when he has the ball at his feet is frightening. Yeah.
Could you see that he was going to go to a bigger club?
Yeah, first game. Obviously heard of the craziness he was doing towards the end of this season last season when they went on a mad run. And then who was the first game I was involved in? We played Luton away. And then the game was teetering at half time. It was 0-0. I came on at half time, so I was in for the team talk, and the gaffer was like, who's going to make the difference? Who's going to make a difference? Who's going to step up? And then we went out, and he just took control of the game. It was unbelievable, and he done that the whole time there, scoring from nothing, from craziness.
So when it does happen that he goes, and he went in Jan, innit?
Yeah, he went last day.
So like when these things happen, how do you guys take it in the change room? Because I know that players come and go all the time, innit? But when such a pivotal player, one that it's always different when a player goes and you know he's a good player, but it's different when a player goes and you know he's the player you need.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
That player,
yeah. So when that happened, like, what was the vibe like in the change room?
It's just like, well, first and foremost, it was like congratulations because you've earned your move, and it was like you've done unbelievable to get that move. So it was like, well, congratulations because you deserve from what you've done in the champ, you deserve a chance in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, just exactly what you thought there. I was like, you know, you play like every season, like 8 to 10 people come and go, you know.
Yeah.
But when it's that type of player, you're like, it's going to be hard to replace that player because they don't come along. They just don't show up on your doorstep. Do you know what I mean? So then we were thinking, right, okay. Then I was like, well, then it's definitely down to me to try and do something because me and the other strikers to do something, the other wide men. And you're just like, you sort of go from the issue of like, just make sure, because my thought process was just make sure you're doing well. And Jared will come up with something. He will do something in the game. One chance, whether it's the first minute or the last minute, that will win us the game. Just sort of thinking, right now it's down to one of us. One of us have to do it. One of us have to step up. And that's sort of the thought process that you have. And that's the pressure that you have to put yourself under. But yeah, just thinking to going back, I was like, yeah, we've like, you just know the dressing rooms know that they've lost a big player. Yeah. A player that makes a proper difference. And you've seen that even when he's went to West Ham. He scored a goal against I think it was a disallowed goal or something, and then he scored his next game as well.
But he doesn't look out of place at all at West Ham. He doesn't look out of place at all. And Grzycki, where did he go? He went West Brom, right?
He went West Brom, yeah. He came to us, yeah. He was good. He was direct. He could get you up the pitch from your own 18-yard line, he could take you 50, 60 yards.
Yeah.
And he had that quality. His free kicks were a joke.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when you have those players in your team who can make those differences, who in tough games, because like you said, Championship is a tough league. So when you've got a player who can literally get the ball and carry it, and then all of a sudden, like, because in Championship, that transition between defense and attack is so important.
Massive, yeah.
So like when the player goes who's got that transition in him, it leaves a massive gap. And yeah, that's probably where, to be honest, I just thought it was just form, basically. It just happened. Like once you're in that rut, then it's hard to get out. But now that you say Bowen, like that obviously is a massive player to lose, man.
Yeah. It does, and you know how fast the games come in the Championship. So it's like football's all about confidence, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be loved. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be top dog. So when your confidence is high, everyone's flying. But when you go on that wee run, it's exactly what you said. It's hard to shake yourself out. You're trying to, and you're hoping and you're praying, like, this is the game. This is where we're going to win. Let's go. And then it just doesn't happen. You're like you just got to just literally roll up the sleeves and just keep dogging it out, because eventually it has to change.
Yeah, 100%.
It has to change.
Right. So this is saying I don't know why. It's saying I've got a minute left. I'm gonna add you back in. So I'm gonna end this. Let me end it now, actually. Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen. What's your thoughts on obviously you probably don't want to talk about other clubs, but did you see Lee Bowyer call out Lyle Taylor yesterday or the day before?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So he didn't really call him out like you've been playing badly, but basically he had an interview on TalkSport, and
Bowyer or Taylor?
Bowyer.
Okay, sorry.
But have you heard some of the stuff that Taylor's been saying before?
Lyle, he loves it. Lyle's not shy of saying what he feels.
Exactly. So, but to be fair,
get him on here.
Yeah, no, we've had him on. We've had him on a couple of times, and I talked to Lyle quite a bit. So I was kind of privy to some of the stuff that was being spoke that was happening, but obviously it hadn't come out yet. And then he come out last week or the week before, just saying everything that's been going on. Everything. Yeah. I'll send you the link after. So he's come out. He's called out the chairman. You know, everything that's been going on. You know, the club have been feeding the fans, you know, lies about what's going on. He's kept his mouth shut. So now it's got to the point where I think he knows he's going. And because his contract is. And then Lee Bowyer had a interview on TalkSport where he was saying that he's going to be without 3 players because 2 have tested positive, and 2 have tested positive, and Lyle's just refusing to play because he don't want to get injured because he's out of contract. And it might mess up a big potential move. But like, what are your thoughts on not so much Lyle, but players who are in that position where their contracts are up at the end of June, and you know they don't want to potentially, you know, mess up and get injured? Like, is that a real concern amongst, maybe not you because you're still in contract, but amongst other players? Do you reckon?
Yeah, it has to be. It absolutely has to be. Now, football's a short career enough as it is. Do you know what I mean? Realistically, if you're blessed, God blesses you, you'll get 15 good years. Yeah. Decent level, unless you're something crazy like James Milner, who is just another level of crazy. Yeah. But like, if you were neutral, right, you could see the argument for every side, right? So if you're a fan, you're like, well, I'm paying my dough to go and watch my football club. If I watch my football club, I want my best players to play, to be there, right? If you're the manager, if you look at the manager, he's like, well, I need to win games. I need my best players to play. I need everyone fit and healthy. Yeah. And then if you're the player, which we are, you're like, well, my contract ends in the end of June. This is a situation that has never happened before. So Lyle's thinking he had an unbelievable season the season before he came to Charlton, which was when he was at Wimbledon. He was class. He was absolutely brilliant. He was a free agent, I'm sure, and then he came to Charlton. That's when I left, and when I left, he got promoted, and then he's had a good season again in the Championship, coming to the end of his contract. Now, for Lyle and his family, he has to look after number one. You have to look after number one. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. Like, when I'm just talking. This is my point of view. When I'm in contact with my agent, or there's something happening, or someone interested, as much as I'm thinking about myself, you have to think about your family. Yeah. So, and Lyle's in the stage now. I think is Lyle 30 or 29?
He's 29 or 30. He's one of them.
29 or 30. This contract he's going to have is going to be a big contract. You have to look after number one. But like, if you were neutral and you were to break it down, like, you could see everyone's argument. But for me as a player, my thought process is you have to look after number one. And there's going to be different guys. You're going to have boys who are out of contract on the June 30th, who have been injured. So they might need to play on and to prove to the team that they're at, or another team, that they're fit. You'll have players who are like Lyle, who will just say, look, well, my contract's up. When it's up, I'm leaving, and I'm going on to pastures new. Thank you very much. And he's been a great servant to Charlton. Yeah, he's done the job that he was brought in to do. And then you'll have other players who will just play because they just want to play football. Yeah. So I know Lee Bowyer, because like Lyle's probably their star player.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. To be fair, Lee Bowyer did come out and say as well that like he speaks to Lyle quite a lot, and he's under no illusions that they wouldn't be where they are without Lyle. Do you get what I'm saying? But then I heard on TalkSport them talking about the whole situation, and they were saying that I think it was is it Natalie or Emily Sawyer, whatever her name is, and they were saying that Lyle is he's taking liberties. Do you know what I mean? And it's basically kind of disrespectful. And I was looking at it, and I was like, you can't really say that, to be fair. Yeah, you can't really say that.
And that's where we were coming to the conversation where we're talking where fantastic journalism. They know the game of journalism. They know footballers. They know the ins and outs. They know everything. But unless you've played the game, you don't understand. Do you know what I mean? So let's say, for instance, someone who you work on the radio, right? Okay, you have a contract that finishes on the June the 30th. Okay, but for some reason they've asked you to work an extra month. Okay, now if you work an extra month, the job that's been offered to you could go away, and the job that's been offered to you is 4 times your salary. What are you doing? Yeah. If you work for BT and Sky come and say to you, if I work for BT and Sky come to say to me, Josh, we want to poach you. We know your contract's up on the 30th of June. We would appreciate it if you see out your contract there and come and work for us. And not only will we sign you for 3 years, but we'll give you 4 times the amount of money. Is that something you would be interested in?
It's that's what I'm saying.
Everyone was.
I think people from like externally who don't play, they like to see footballers as, you know, like they don't want footballers to actually have a business mind and look out for their own. They just want footballers to just be this guy that show loyalty to this club, and you know, you've got to ride it out with this club. But it don't work like that, because at the same time, there are people who have shown loyalty to the club. Come June 30th, the club are going to get rid of them, just like that.
100%.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So just say, for instance, Lyle decides to play on, right? And he has something happens where he can't sign for his new club.
Yeah.
God bless him. Not wishing this on anyone. He gets hurt or injured for a sustainable amount of time, and he's not the same player, and he's just not back at the same level. There's no loyalty in football.
Charlton will still get rid of him because
there's no loyalty in football.
Yeah,
it's just like it's just not going to happen. You have to look out for yourself. The only way I can describe it to people who are watching or the people who are there understanding. Yes, there's a lot of talk and there's a lot of stuff. Contract this, contract that. everything. He just say for everyone, if you were able to work within the legal restraints of your contract as a human being, and then another business offered you 2, 3, 4 times the amount of money that you're on at the moment for 3 years, would you go? If anyone was to say no, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
That's whether if you were delivery driver, you're a cleaner, security guard, teacher, policeman, fireman, radio DJ.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
doesn't matter.
They look at footballers like they're so different, as if they're just not ordinary human beings as well. So it's the same way they're expecting players now to go against what the real government guidelines are and go back to football. Like it's just like footballers are, you know, they're getting all this money. How dare they actually think for themselves? How dare they actually have their own minds? Yeah, so
you're getting paid a fortune. How dare you have an opinion? That's what it seems.
Yeah.
Just if you're told to do something, just do it.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's a tricky situation, and I feel for Lyle, because he's in a hard spot, because what he managed to do there with Charlton, he managed to get promoted. Do you know what I mean? He got his goals and stuff, helped them get basically to the championship. Yeah. So you don't want what he's done there to be tainted if he has to go. Do you know what I mean? You want people thinking, oh, he just left. But that's not the case. It's not just the fact that, how can I describe it?
To be fair,
Lyle's not sitting there. Sorry, go on.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, to be fair,
like these players who are in this situation, or like the players are Lyle. Like Lyle's not sitting in his house thinking, oh, I'm going to do over Charlton. Do you know what? I can't be bothered with them anymore. It's not a personal thing towards Charlton. Like the players are just doing what's in their best interest for them as people. You have to look after yourself. You have to look after yourself and your family, and that's what he's doing. He'll be weighing up the options. His agent will be telling him the possibilities of this, the possibilities of that, and he's just weighing up his options. And that's the hard thing about football. It's like sometimes people take it so personal, but like Lyle, like he loves to talk, he loves to chat. Do you know what I mean? He loves it. But I don't genuinely. From what I've seen and what I've come, he's not a nasty guy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? He's not going crazy.
To be fair, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. To be fair, with Lyle, I think that's why he came out and spoke, because he wanted the fans to know exactly what's been going on. And judging by what I've seen in regards to the feedback, a lot of fans understand that it's not him, because he wanted to stay at the club. But at the end of the day, if the club want to, kind of do you over, there's nothing you can do about it except go about your business. And it's actually, I don't want to talk too much on his situation, but it's actually very cheeky how they can treat him the way they've done throughout the season, but still expect him to kind of go beyond his contract. Do you get what I mean?
To be fair, I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to read up on it, but it's just you just can't be surprised at some of the stuff what's happening going on. And if he feels that way, then that's just down to him to say it. But he's a good kid. He'll end up with a decent move wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Just hopefully he can just keep going and doing better. But as you say, sometimes in certain people's eyes, footballers just can't do nothing right.
Yeah, no, they can't. But for you as a player, when you hear about these situations, how much does it make you think about like just getting? Because so if you know that football, there's no loyalty in football. Like when it comes to thinking about your clubs and everything, how much of it comes down to business and securing your future against, making the most and playing at the highest level? Like what's the trade-off? What's the balance?
First and foremost is family. Is my family going to be okay?
Yeah.
That is first and foremost. Then I look at sort of, I don't want to say the stats. Well, yeah, sort of like the stature of the club.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they finish last season? How sort of like fan base? How big is their fan base? Et cetera, that type of thing. And then, no, that's probably third. Secondly is contract. Like what's being offered. Talk to me. tell me, agent, what are we talking about? What's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
And it was like, right, okay, no problem. And then it'll be sort of like the stature. And to be fair, like the clubs that I've played for, I've been blessed. I've played for big clubs. I feel, do you know what I mean? I've played for decent clubs, and that's just how I go about it. But like, so for instance, there when I was at Bolton, there was a situation arose where I had the chance to go to Hull.
Yeah.
Or to somewhere else.
Or this? Oh, okay. This is at the time when.
Yeah, before. Yeah, okay. No, this was after Bolton. Yeah, the chance to go to Hull or somewhere else. Very, very, very similar. Family was happy the first bit. Contracts were basically the same, and then it came down to speaking to the manager, doing that type of thing, and then gut decision was I just felt Hull was a massive club. It was decent. I said I'm pray about it. Let's see where we end up, and then thank God that I ended up there. So now, like, my kids are in school here. Like I don't commute from Manchester. We bought another place in Hull. I'll stay in Hull through the week and then come home at the weekends or my day off. But we couldn't move the kids because they're so happy in school. Do you know what I mean? You can't just up and leave at this time in life, or else the kids will be here, there, and everywhere. So it's a fabulous life. Don't get me wrong, living my dream, but it's not as clear cut and as glamorous as people see from outside looking in sometimes.
I think that's what people don't realize, that now you say you're in Hull, you know, and like if Rangers come for you tomorrow, let's say, that's an opportunity you probably can't turn down. So then like you have to think about the fact that you've got to move up and move your whole family. Do you get what I'm saying? But people don't see that, and also I think when people look at, you know, like people would want footballers, they have this idea in their head that footballers care about being loyal to one club and winning things at that club, you know, like a Steven Gerrard kind of guy or Paul Scholes. But then it's, for me personally, it's easier when you're getting paid X amount of money to stay at those clubs. Do you know what I mean? Like Steven Gerrard could have gone to Chelsea. He could have gone to bigger clubs, not bigger, but he could have gone to clubs where he got offered more money. But I feel like it's easier for him to stay at Liverpool when you're already secure, when your family's secure.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, if, for instance, if you had, so just say you had a manager to come in that was crazy and said to him at like 30, 31, like, we want you around, but we're going to offer you half your money. Yeah. And then another club come in, like Chelsea or Real Madrid, come in and said, you know what, we'll give you a full price offer. What do you want? It's a situation where you don't have to leave. Like the likes of like Ryan Giggs, Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, John Terry. Their career has only ever been like that. It's basically been you're so good in your price. We can't afford you to go somewhere else. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's not so much for me. It's not so much like unbelievable that the club has been loyal to them, but more so that they have been loyal to their club. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Frank Lampard had a stint at Man City and he was still bagging goals. Yeah, proper professional, proper pro. John Terry was like, I can't play for another team in the Premier League. Could have easily still play in the Premier League. Oh, of course. Do you know what I mean? But those are the luxuries you have. Those are the luxuries you have. Do you get what I'm saying? But they just have this. They've had the perfect partnership because their performances has matched the love of the club. Because at any stage, if their performances had a drop, the club wouldn't have loved them as much as that they've always loved them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you've seen that through big money signings. How many times have you seen a big money signing come to England and it hasn't quite worked and they have to go off? It's just that they're unbelievable footballers and they've earned the right to stay at that club for forever amount of time. But you're right, like there's so many, like for instance, like my son is 7 and we've lived in with him 8 houses. Really? 8 houses, yeah. Yeah, oh, but that's probably about. Let me get and my youngest has had 5. Now, he said to me when I first came to when we first moved to Charlton. We rented a place, and then we looked into buying a place. And then we were in the same place for sometimes we're not in the same. We haven't been in the same place longer than 2 years.
Yeah.
So when we ended up moving from Charlton to Bolton, and we've been here. I think we're moving into our 3rd year here. My boy said to me, he's like that, like at the end of the season, always says to me, end of the season, he's like, right, do I have to pack my room now?
Oh, imagine that.
I was like, what do you mean? He said, we have to move. He says, we're always moving. And I was like, no, man. I said, not this time. I said, do you like this house? And he was like, yeah. I said, do you want to move? He's like, no, because he's got pals that live like down the street. He's like, I don't want to leave them. So it's like little stuff like that. Like last year I went from being with them, both of them, and my missus 7 days a week, because I only live like 10 minutes from Bolton's training ground, to having to go and live in Hull. So I'm away Monday, Tuesday, I come home on a Wednesday, and then I'm back in Hull Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So going to see them from 7 days a week to 2 days a week. It's tough. It's an adjustment. Do you know what I mean? But as you said, it's things that people don't see. But for me, I look at it as, do you know what I mean? Like from where I started, like to where I am now.
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice that has to be made. You have to make the sacrifice. So it might be hard now, but hopefully in the future they'll understand. Well, it had to be done. But it's not just so tunnel vision as easy as footballers. They have it as easy as 1, 2, 3. Some do. Some have the dream of playing football and the dream
of a cushy life.
The house you buy is the house you live in from your first pro contract until you go on to the next life. But other people, as I said, I started in Northern Ireland, went to Cardiff, went to Scotland, went to Aberdeen, then Glasgow, then London, then the Midlands.
Where was it?
Northwest.
Where was it that you made your where were you playing when you made your breakthrough for Northern Ireland? That was quite early on in your career, wasn't it? Was it Aberdeen?
Aberdeen, yeah. Aberdeen is where I broke into the starting team and Northern Ireland team. Yeah,
and just on that, what was it like going to the Euros for you?
It was mad. It was mad. Like I remember, because I played in the game that we won to secure that we were definitely going to the Euros. So we had played 9 games. Played 8 games, 2 games left. If we won the 9th game, doesn't matter what happened in the 10th game, we were definitely going to the Euros. Yeah. The guy at the time, Kai Lafferty, who
big him
was
up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember in that run. Yeah.
In that run, he was honestly anything he touched was a goal. He was suspended. So then I was like, what age was I? I was 23 at the time. I know, and then it ended up me playing. So we played Greece. We beat Greece 3-1. Managed to score. And I remember Daps. I remember 60 minutes into the game when we were winning 3-1. The crowd were going mental, and I was just thinking, we're going to the Euros. I was like, I'm going to the Euros. I was like, I cannot believe I'm going to the Euros. And then the final whistle went. We all said our commiserations to Greece. We went in the dressing room, and it was like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
People's gear was getting tossed in the air. Pizzas were hanging from the roof. We were stealing cameras off the press.
Yeah.
We were chucking people in the bath. It was mad. And then everyone sort of had that rush of adrenaline. And then everyone had 5 minutes where everyone sat in their seat. And then we were just we did it. We did it. No one expected us even to finish 4th in that group, because we were Greece, Romania, Hungary, and we topped it. Yeah,
and no disrespect, Northern Ireland didn't have a history of qualifying for these these tournaments. So it was. I remember at the time it was a massive thing. And when you got to the Euros, how much of it played on your mind? You have achieved such a thing. How much throughout the season is it I have to be in this squad? Like, I have to get selected.
Mate, Daps, my backside was flapping for months, right? Because I was at Kilmarnock at the time, right?
Yeah.
And as a team, we were not doing well. In Scotland, I don't know, but like if you know the league, there's one definite relegation team that finishes 12th, and then the team that finishes 11th is a relegation playoff.
I didn't know.
So you play 2 games, and you have to win over the 2 games. You have to win, basically.
Yeah.
So we finished 11th, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in a relegation playoff here. I said, my Northern Ireland, as much as Michael O'Neill and I were quite close, I was like, if I get relegated from the SPL to League One in Scotland, how am I going to be taken seriously going to the Euros? Do you know what I mean? No disrespect to anyone. I said, people will be thinking, he can't help the team. He's just been in a relegation team. So leading into the game, I done my ankle quite bad, and I was like, oh my God! I was like, not only could I get relegated, I could get injured. Yeah. So I was having Lee Clark was my manager, unbelievable manager. What a character! Yeah. Brilliant, feisty guy. Came to me. He says, you have to play this game. He said, He said, look, I know you're going to the Euros, but you have to think about Kilmarnock. Yeah. And so it was like to and fro. So I was like, oh my goodness. So long story short, played the game. We won over 2 legs. And then afterwards, when I was on the way to meet the team, because the relegation playoff went on longer than the training camp started for Northern Ireland. So when I arrived at the training camp, I was like, thank God I don't have to hang my head in shame after being relegated. But as soon as that whistle went, when we qualified, I was like, I was praying every night and morning to bless my body, not to get injured. I was like, I have to go. And then unfortunately, Chris Brunt done his cruciate. Couple of months before, he couldn't go, and I was just like, I wouldn't have been able to manage, and he was okay. He's quite subdued and quite level-headed, so he dealt with it. If that had been me, wow. Yeah. There was no return, Daps. Yeah. So then, when you get the call, like, is it I don't know how you get notified, like, for the call. Yeah. Okay. So when you get that, when you see it wasn't the manager that called you. Was it probably the secretary or something? No, it was
the manager. Okay, cool. So you see the manager's name coming from the screen. Are you thinking to yourself, oh, okay, this is it? Or are you thinking, he might be telling me that I haven't made it?
The other way that you get that feeling there.
Yeah.
Like just go. So you play international games, you play every couple of months. So the last game before we met up was March. In the dressing room at the end, he was like, I'm going to have to make some hard decisions. Can everyone just stay by their phone in and around this date? You get a text the week before, remember this date. I was like, okay. And I was just like, right, okay. The day comes, family, myth, football, training, myth. All I can think about is this phone call. And then my phone starts going, and I look, and it's his name, and I was like, oh my goodness. And in my head, I'm like, nah. I was like, I've done enough to go. But then I'm thinking, just never know. So picked up the phone. I was like, hello. He said, Josh. I said, yes, Gaffer, how's it going? He said, oh, do you want the good news or the bad news? And I was like, what? And he was like, he said, the good news is, no, he said, what did he say? He said, the good news, I think, what did he say? He said, the good news is, I really like you. And I was like, oh my God, he's telling me I'm not going. Yeah. He's telling me I'm not going. He said, the bad news is you have to leave your family for 5 weeks. And I was like, flip me. I said, am I in? I just said, am I in? Am I in? He said, yeah, you're in. I said, that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. So after we've done those, then you get an official letter. Yeah. Which is goes out, and then he has to do like an official team thing. It was absolutely crazy. Daps, can I nip to the loo?
Oh, go on.
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, go. Number 1, yeah? Let me mute. So yeah, guys, hope you've enjoyed this. We've probably got about 5-10 minutes left of this one. It's been insightful hearing this.
Sorry, bro.
I was just hoping that you didn't do a number 2. So
No. Quickly.
So yeah, but very quickly, what was it like at the actual tournament? Like when you land down and you're obviously a team partaking in the Euros, and you're treated a certain way when you get to the hotels, and like what was it just like for you?
So it was a weird dynamic, Daps, because when you're so obviously
and honestly,
France,
this quarantine I went through a little hard period as well.
So then it's down to your association to pick a hotel, which is going to best suit for you to get to all of your 3 group games. So we were in Lyon, and they they rented out like basically the whole hotel, so there was no other guests. It was just us as an association at the hotel. So it was out in the sticks, but it was picturesque, mate. It's like a French vineyard, proper off the charts. But like a quick story, like for some reason, we got the most crazy special forces security team you have ever seen. Right? So we were talking to other teams, other players, and playing for other nations like Wales, England, Republic of Ireland, that type of stuff, where like they were allowed to, like, if they wanted to go out to the shops or a coffee, they could go into the local town. If they wanted to go to the supermarket to get supplies, sweets, not a problem. If we wanted to do anything, wherever, if we went to the local coffee shop, they went in and shut down the coffee shop. So anyone in there had to leave.
Really?
And it was only us. Yeah. We wanted to go to the shopping centre after training. We passed the shopping centre and we were like, we want to go to the shopping centre. So we pulled in the shopping centre and they said, can you wait here for 10 minutes? I said, yeah. So I'll never forget this for as long as I live. Went into the shopping centre and they closed half of the shopping centre down. So like everyone with their shopping was on one side of the shopping centre, and then ours was free. And I was like, this can't be happening. And he was like, has to be safety first. So now, crazy.
Do you think that's just because it just happened to just go overboard, or do you think maybe someone was thinking Northern Ireland, I don't know, some sort of like politics, or like what do you think it was?
I know. Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, this is probably what it was like for like my granny or something. When the trouble started, it's like everyone out, everyone get back to your house, everyone lock yourself indoors. But like when I honestly couldn't tell you. Like they have breakfast with us every single day, right? And around the whole perimeter of the hotel was like security fences you'd have at a concert, so nobody can peek over. Now on the outside of that, you had volunteer security guards, sort of like the equivalent of G4S. And one of the guys in the middle of the night would go with a balaclava on and attack them. He would attack them, And I was like, what? That was exactly my reaction. He was like, I have to know if they're tough. I have to see what they're made of. And I was like, nah, get out of my face. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, security has to be top. So like, he was like, if they're not good enough, they leave. If they fight back, they can stay. And there was just new people there all the time. Like, and he would randomly, he's like, tonight is the night, balaclava on, and he'd be off.
Oh my God. No, that is hilarious.
Nuts. But when you fast forward it, and then you would go to the games, and you would pass the fan zones, it was like going into Narnia. It was like going from the countryside and then going through the wardrobe in the complete madness, fans singing, flares, smoke. And then because it was such an iconic thing for especially Northern Ireland fans, they were in the stadiums pretty early. So the full allocation of seats was where people were in singing their head off. And it was when Will Griggs on fire.
Yeah.
And it was going absolutely bananas. And I remember when we played against Germany, we had the drug test. There was a drug test done, and some of the German players were like, Matt Hummels and stuff was like, "Where's this Will Grigg? I must meet this Will Grigg." So they were like, it was mad. It was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, the atmosphere was going to the games, walking out, and playing against those teams, and being involved in something like that was iconic, mate. It was something that take them a grave. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. It's like those are the moments in football that you wanna experience. Do you get what I'm saying? And not everyone, like when you look at the percentage of footballers who play professional who actually go on and win something, it's very little. It's very little that actually go and win something.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So to then go to, you know, a major tournament like that, it's even less. So for you to actually experience that, man, that must be something that you just.
I know, and that's what I was saying. From where I started at Cardiff, I was like, if someone had told me like you would be playing you play one game for your country, never mind, go to the Euros, I would have laughed in their face. I would have said, "Are you joking me? Are you kidding me on?" And to get there, I was like, and that's what I say to my missus all the time. I was like, no matter what happens, no matter if I have a stinker from now until I retire, no one can take that away from me. Do you know what I mean? I was there. I was able to do it. Had the best time, best memories. Took so much memorabilia. It was brilliant.
Yeah. What's the best? Did you take shirts from anyone?
Oh, see, Daps. I'm the kit guru. So you know what it's like for football. Football is very macho. It's very, very egotistical. Everyone wants to be the best. No one wants to seem like they're weasels. No one wants to be that guy. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just a fan of football as much as I like playing it. Right? So especially international football, if we're playing a bigger nation or a team that has a player that is a certain caliber, don't bother me. As soon as I go to get off the team bus, go to the dressing room, get a cup of tea, and I go and stand in the centre circle. Yeah. Why? And I wait for their team to come out. As their team's coming out, I'll wait for the player and I'll see them and I'll be like, "Oh, pleased to meet you, Josh Magennis," blah blah, and they'll be caught off guard. They'll just make something up. But I'll just make sure and say, after the game, is it okay if I get your top? And that's how I do it. I don't wait till I'm on the pitch. As soon as I see them, I ask them. So I've asked, I've got a multitude of players' tops. What's the best one? The one where you look. The best one. The best. It's probably Ronaldo's. You got Cristiano, because I know how many people are probably asking. I know how many people are probably asking for that shirt. Yeah, and the funny thing about it was we played him at Windsor Park, and I had his boots on, and I was like, they were white with red and orangey type of thing. Everyone was asking for his top, but I just make sure I just have to get it. Yeah, have to get it. And then I asked him. He was like, "Oh, I've already promised it to someone," and I was like, "Oh, okay, no bother." Then walking off, I was like, "I'm going to ask him again." So he just gave it to me. Now it helped. He scored a hat trick. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So he scored a hat trick and he was unbelievable. And I was like, "Yeah, no bother." But yeah, I managed to get Virgil van Dijk's as well. He's cool. He was such a nice character. He was like, "Yeah, no bother." Tough to play. Yeah, Sanchez. To be honest with you, I've managed to get quite a few. Vidal, because we managed to play Chile and stuff. Yeah.
Roddins from Uruguay. Yeah, so we've got quite a few.
I love that. If you want to send me the Cristiano one, just let me know.
That's for when I retire and I need some more money. I'm going to sell them.
Yeah. What was it like? Like before we wrap this up, like having like Will Griggs. Like, what was it like for him? Do you reckon? Because it was just. I remember there was a moment where, so you guys had been knocked out, and then you're back in Northern Ireland, and you know that big. It was like a big festival, and you're all coming out one by one, and then like, is it a thing
like, so are you talking about the one we had?
Yeah.
So it was. So that was the day. That was the day we landed. So manager made. So instead of us coming back and everyone just dispersing, it was sort of the last chance that we had together. He said, when we land, I want to go out for dinner or I want to have a night together. But they arranged like a coming home party.
Yeah.
Everyone lined up, squad numbers lined up, and you got called out one on one. Blah 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 blah. Macaulay had a big massive eruption because he scored. McNally again had an eruption because he scored. As soon as they heard, Will Griggs had to go last because if he had went out anywhere else from last, nobody else, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It just went mad for a good 4 or 5 months. It went mad. And I don't know if you've ever met Will Griggs. He's like, he's any more laid back, he'd be horizontal, mate. He's just takes it as it comes. He just kept smirking, and that wasn't really. If it was me, I'd be doing cartwheels, going bananas, jumping, crowd surfing. But he was just took it back, sort of chilled out. But yeah, it was crazy. Like walking out, and just thousands of people. I was just like, this is Will Griggs on fire. You just hear that note, do, and you just know it's coming.
Mate, I remember watching it, and it gives you chills, man, because it's just like, that's what football's about, man. Do you get what I'm saying?
Massively.
Like that's what it's about. Like when you hear fans like just all together, just in that moment, it's just about trying. It don't matter who. This time it was Will Griggs, but it don't matter who it is. But when I see stuff like that, man, you absolutely love it. And football is supposed to bring that joy. Do you get what I'm saying? So
massively,
I just love seeing that, man. I love it.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly how I felt. That's when, especially when you were in the stadium. See, when you were in the stadium and everyone was singing it, you were just like, they were just being genuine fans. It was just everyone was there to have. There was no trouble. There was no agenda. Everyone was there just to have a good time. Yeah. It was just. It was pure emotion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everyone was just going off the cuff. Yeah. German fans were doing it. Even the Polish fans were doing it. Ukrainian fans were doing it. Welsh fans were doing it when we played them in the quarterfinals. It was just insane.
Yeah.
It was
That's
brilliant.
the thing about Euros and World Cup, the major tournaments. The fans, obviously, if you got like an Arsenal playing Tottenham, the fans ain't mixing. They're not all singing together.
No.
But like, at the major tournaments, because you have fans supporting their countries, and it's like it's just such an occasion where you're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
A lot of the time you get them all joining in together, like when Iceland did the clap.
Oh
you know what I mean? Like you just get those moments, and yeah, man, I love them.
Goosebumps. You just can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's a different. It's weird. International football, the club football's weird, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you'll get like you said, Arsenal, Tottenham. Like, Arsenal fans will never clap for Tottenham fans.
Yeah, never.
But you might get an odd clap from a fan if those two players are playing for England. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Harry Kane's playing for England, he scores a worldie in the World Cup, an Arsenal fan will probably be sitting and celebrating in the seat at home. Do you know what I mean? It's a different dynamic. It's one where club rivalries is put to the back burner for the greater good, and that's what it was, mate. It was unbelievable. It was off the charts.
I love that, man. But yeah, Josh, we got there in the end.
Oh yeah,
so we got there in the end, man. But thank you for doing this, man. I hope you've had fun.
Oh, thank you for listening to my shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Listen, as soon as all this is over, we're gonna link up and do it properly, man. And
yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah, man.
So to get away for a while.
Yeah, trust me. But yeah, thank you so much, man. And people listening at home, man. It's actually been a good one, man, because it's not we've been talking about football, but it's more real life stuff as well, man. So
yeah,
I hope you've enjoyed this at home, guys. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing. This is out.
Please do.
This is out next week sometime. But
No
yeah,
bother.
Josh, love.
Brilliant.
There.
God bless
Guys,
you, mate. Take care.
Everyone, in a bit. Stay there.
Cheers, guys.